Hey y'all, this is the owner from Crafting by the Pound. Thank y'all so much for joining me for another video. And if you have been following me on any of my social media, you probably have seen that I had a huge passion planner haul with a lot of planners and a lot of journals. So this video that we're going to have today is me setting up my passion planner journal with the I believe it's called Space Infinity cover, and right now I am just prepping everything. But I'll be pulling out my watercolor soon. I don't know how the format of this video is going to go. I'm pretty much just winging it at this point because again my filming setup is wonky once again, but I have an idea for this planner and I pretty much just took a chance and stepped out on faith and just did the do, however you want to say it. So yeah, let's get right into it. So I believe it was in my May 2022 bullet journal setup that I was talking about how I wanted to go up a size to B5, and I also wanted to get a planner or a journal with thicker paper that would kind of hold my watercolors a little better and not warp the pages. And so when I got the passion planner, and I know that the paper is thick and I know that it is, well, I guess that's it. I know the paper's thick, and so I guess that I thought in my mind, I thought that translated to that it would be able to hold watercolor or be able to absorb watercolor a little better. But with this first page, this was just me very much testing it out. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I very much stepped out on faith on this planner and just went where my creativity inspired me to go. And I will say that this paper is not really watercolor accepting. Of course it looks great now that it is dry and the paper isn't warped anymore, but in painting it, I remember some of the paper fragments lifting up. The watercolor wasn't really sinking into the paper as I was expecting it to, and I could always say, yeah, it was my technique with watercolors that probably didn't make this page pop like I wanted, but I very much wanted to put as much watercolor as I could on this page just to see how it would hold up. And I think that's the one thing that did actually satisfy me with this, was that it held up very well. Like there was no bleeding, the pages didn't fully like deform. I'll flip through just to check the back of the page. It warped, sure, but it did not like deform as much. And even now that I'm actually currently using my planner for June, I can't tell that I use watercolors. Like the page didn't permanently stay warped. Like once I put the water down, of course it got a little damp and it warped that way, but it didn't stay that way. And once it dried very nice. And actually the finished matte product was very much how I was envisioning to use the passion planner products. Now I have purchased 3 B5 journals from Passion Planner, and I have not used watercolors in that just yet. I have plans for 2 of them so far, and I have not got a chance to actually film anything or play around in any of those, and those videos I'm sure will be up on the channel soon. But yeah, I mean, just working up with watercolor in this planner so far it's left me with some anticipation and some excitement that I won't necessarily have to put watercolors down to only my Stylogy or even watercolor drawings. I can use them in my passion planner with no problem. And I think for me when I was trying to transition my passion planner into possibly my carry-all, that was a concern of mine. I'm glad to know that I can actually put that concern to rest, that I can use watercolors in my passion planner and I don't have to sacrifice that particular medium when it comes to this planner. So like I said, this cover page, or this planner belongs to page, I had no plan in mind on design wise. I just kind of went with it, just doodled a bunch of crap, and even though it's very much chaotic, I thoroughly liked it. I even made mistakes, like if you see that yellow streak, I made mistakes, but I actually did really like it. So yeah, that is my opening page to my new passion planner. So this next spread that I'll be working on is actually my period tracker, because I don't know if I said at the beginning of this video or if I even said it in my May 2022 spread, but I want to try and see if I can have my passion planner act as my bullet journal. I remember now. I said carry all, but I want to try to make it as a pseudo bullet journal, because I want to have a weekly spread. I want to have my period tracker, I want to have my money tracker, I want to have all the trackers that I will usually have in my bullet journal in my passion planner. And so I knew that it was going to take a lot of maneuvering and just experimentation just to make that happen. And luckily the passion planner website has a lot of free printables and downloadables that you can choose from, and one in particular was a year in pixels that they had. It was a PDF, and I chose the B5 size, which is the size of the medium passion planner, and I downloaded that. I printed it actually on B5 size paper, which I'm loving how, you know, you work smarter not harder by cutting down your page size before you print, so that you don't have to do all that extra cutting. Yeah, I have to cut a little bit down to size because these pages aren't really true by B5 size. They're more like a 6.8 by a 9.85, so they're not fully 7 by 10, which I, you know, was kind of weird. It was kind of a weird experience realizing that, because it's, or maybe, you know, and then I have to think about it, maybe it was the journals that are actually true B5 size and not the passion planners, but I digress. That's a different conversation. So I do white out the title of the year in pixel page, and I type in a period tracker, because I just like to see, what is it, the oh my gosh, I'm having a brain fart. The fluctuation of my cycle is just something I would like to see, because I like to be very aware of what my body is doing. I'm a very self-aware person, so this is, you know, another thing that I do to just be on top of all things that are me. So I do go along and I pull out my phone and I look at the monthly spread for the year, just to see how things, you know, how many days or how many months have 31 days, or I know for sure that February has 28, but I didn't know if it was going to be a leap year, or I don't even know if leap years are still a thing. I'm so out of touch. Anyway, so I don't know if I mentioned this as well, is that I will be using this passion planner. I'll start in June, like in June 2022 of the actual planner, because it is dated, and then I'll go all the way to December, and then that January will be for January 2023. And so I don't know if I go through that in this video of actually mapping out the days for 2023 from January to May, but I end up eventually working that all out, because that's one thing I would have hated, is that doing that and not being able to do that, because there will be more weeks or whatever, but that gives me encouragement, because the way I have it set up is that when May ends in this planner, I'll be able to use another of the passion planners and do the same thing, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But anyway, back to the period tracker. So the grid that is on the side of the actual January through December grid tracker is it's like a key. I guess you can make your own key, but I chose to add another spread that I would have usually had in my bullet journal, and it is the monthly spread theme. So I went from June to May of next year, and I kind of allowed myself space to write what my theme would be. And I think the only theme I will actually focus on is like my monthly spread, not necessarily, because like for my bullet journal it was the entire block of pages that I will have for that month. This will mostly just be for the monthly spread, and because during my weeks I'll have like different kits, different sticker styles, I'll have a lot of different things going on. So this is what this page mainly is about, and it, kind of like a quick and succinct spread, not too complicated. Like I said, the printable very much helped, so shout out to Passion Planner for offering that on their website. So yeah, this is my period tracker and my monthly spread theme spread. I guess I could safely say that we are now in the home stretch. And what I mean by that is that we will be working on the last 2 spreads that I have planned for my passion planner. And I decided to use, those little, I'm not going to call them pesky, but those little monthly goal pages in between months. That's what I'm going to be using to kind of do like my hello month page and then my brain dump. Of course, I can always use the space of infinite possibility box that's at the bottom of almost every passion planner spread, but that's just not how I roll. So this is me pulling in. I had some, because before I bought my passion planners, I was very much just gonna print out the entire undated passion planner printable that they have on their website and just use that in my discs. And I actually had printed out all the pages, but then the sale popped up and I was able to purchase a few planners and journals and decided to go that route, because while I love discs, I don't like them for my carry-alls because I can't do that. If doing my bullet journal has taught me anything, I need a bound system for my everyday carry, and that's what I have with the passion planner. So I pulled in I had some extra note pages from that printable bundle that I printed, which I'll probably be pulling from that a lot for this passion planner, just to fill in some blank space, because I actually just repurposed one of the monthly spreads in that planner, and because I hadn't punched it yet for the discs yet, so it was just a bunch of loose paper. I repurposed one of the monthly spreads in the back of my passion planner for another spread that I didn't film. I thought about filming, but I wanted to play around with it first to see if it would work, and I have some more finagling to do. But yeah, so I pulled out some blank grid pages for these 2 spreads, and I didn't have an idea in mind. I don't know what I had planned. Like I said, just like with the cover page, I was winging it. I was trying things out. So I am the glue machine at this point, and my glue bottle is irritating because it's not adhesive. I miss my adhesive gun. That one also, it got so full of the adhesive stickiness that it was hard sometimes to apply a new, a new applicator or a new adhesive gun roll. I don't know. But anyway, so it was just, I miss it, but I don't miss it at the same time because it was just so extremely messy. So I'm just using my tacky glue that I got from the dollar store, and I'll probably use all the bottles I bought up and before I purchased like any adhesive, I think it's just adhesive, I think. And I don't want to buy like the adhesive squares because I don't want any bumps on my paper. And so once again, for this spread, I pulled out the watercolors because I will not be defeated. I will not give in to defeat. And I honestly feel like this planner will be able to handle my watercolors. I just have to figure out the paper. And I think in knowing that, I'll be able to move forward. I don't know about directly applying watercolors to paper, like to my actual planner spreads, but I believe that it is doable for like maybe a monthly spread or one of these like bullet journal pages that I'm doing now. So the watercolor did very well. I don't know if it's because I had the protection of another layer of paper on top of my passion planner pages, but it worked because this is just regular run-of-the-mill, I think 20-pound printer paper, and it held up pretty well. But I think also the cushion of the passion planner pages is what did the job. And I don't think, because I think that's where I got confused. I think I got confused because I know the bullet journals from passion planner I think are 120 GSM, but I don't think the actual passion planner planners are 120 GSM, which I think is kind of weird because wouldn't they use the same amount of paper or the same type of paper? But I could be wrong. I don't know why this is such a stickler for me, but it is. So because I pulled in that washi, and as you see that the one washi that's on the June side, I pulled in that washi and I felt like, okay, Leona, you now have to match the colors of that washi, because if you're going by the seat of your pants, you need to make sure the pants are matching the rest of the outfit, so to speak. So I did a little yellow blob or yellow gold blob on the side of both sides of the paper, and it looked very weird once I actually watercolored June 2022 on it. And so I was like, okay, so this needs a pattern, this needs something to fill in this blank space, because I can't do, I don't know, I guess I just can't do when things don't have a purpose in my spreads. So I doodled this little flower design in the yellow space. I did it for both the Hello Month and the brain dump page that I had on the side, and then you'll eventually see that I'll pull it in for the border around the June 2022 type style thing. And that's why I actually start trying to actually match the colors of this washi to those particular flowers. Like the flowers on the yellow gold border, I don't color in. I pretty much let the background of the yellow gold be the flower color. But when I do additional stuff around the June, I do try to pull in some of the colors from the washi, or I don't really mix anything, because I don't know, for some reason I have been avoiding mixing any watercolors for a while. I'm just not feeling it. So I just been pretty much pulling from the main color palette of these Kuretake Ganzai watercolors and just going that route, because it's easier for my mental and I don't have to do a bunch of math and jump through hoops, and I don't want to have to, what I used to do for my bullet journal spreads, like make my own little swatch. I don't feel like doing those anymore for a while. So yeah, so I do like doodle some little flowers. I even try to incorporate it with the border as if the June 2022 is on top of the flowers, so to speak. And I don't know, I think it turned out cute. I do hate the hodgepodge way of which I glue these pages down, but I thought about just using sticker paper, because I know for sure sticker paper would adhere to the page all the way around and I wouldn't have to worry about any page lift up. But I just didn't want to waste any sticker paper on this, especially since I was experimenting and not really knowing how everything was going to work out or how it was going to look. And what if I decided to just scrap the whole thing? And I did not want to have any sticker paper attached to that, because I don't want to pull from my shop's supply inventory or whatever. And yeah, so this, I personally think it worked out great. I do hate how I lettered brain dump on the page to the right, but you don't really see much of that, because sadly this camera angle at this desk, like I said, my filming setup is very wonky right now. Camera angle was not allowing me so much to see that, because I can only maneuver my camera so much. And I think for the spread, or not the spreads, but for the videos coming up, I think I was able to fix that just a little, not a whole lot, but just a little, and so that you can see more of it, of the planner, because unlike my bullet journal, the passion planner is bigger and it's wider, and some things I was not able to get simply because of the angle and how big this passion planner is. So yeah, that was one thing. I was really just looking to see if they had their coiled passion planner on sale, and they didn't. I mean, now they do. I think it was for the 80% off, up to 80% off sale, they did have the coil planner available, but I just didn't want that. But that is the end of our video. Thank y'all so much for hearing me ramble on, and if you did like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all in another video. Be blessed and be safe out there. Bye.